let's start with The Apprentice, and then I want to talk about A Complete Unknown, because The Apprentice is the most recent movie I watched, and I was actually finding some parallels with A Complete Unknown, because I was thinking these are both really hard asks of these actors, because you have to play a super famous person who it's very easy to parody. They both have kind of cartoonish voices, but they're also famously people who it's like, you kind of feel like it's very difficult to know who they truly are or what they truly are about for kind of different ways. I think that Sebastian Stan with the Apprentice, that's like, it's really an impossible ask. How do you play Donald Trump? How do you play a cartoon character and try to make him seem like a human being? But even more than that, how do you play somebody who I think is pretty uncomplicated? Like, what you see is pretty much exactly what you get. And that's even how the movie ends, with him interviewing Tony Schwartz, the book author, being like, so what's your deal? And he's like, I like deals. And it's like, there's nothing else. And like, that's it. What did you think of The Apprentice, the movie?
So overall, I thought it was pretty good. On Letterboxd, I gave it about a 3.5 out of 5. I think Sebastian Stan took on a pretty big task here, man. I think that he really embodied Trump. Now, the thing about The Apprentice is what I was thinking about is kind of who's the audience, you know what I mean? Like, who exactly is this movie for, right? I mean, it comes out at an interesting time and where we're at right now. And I guess I really, really like the first act of the movie. Even I'd say into the second act, but the third act for me, it gets to be Easter eggs of what we kind of know about him and what what he's famous for.
That's the perfect way to put it. I was like, really, they had to throw in the line about how exercise, the body is like a battery. Like, okay. You're so right.
The third act was kind of, I was like, all right, it's kind of losing its steam for me. But overall, I mean, the performance he definitely deserved to be nominated for sure.
I agree that the first half is a lot stronger. It has just that like 70s and 80s energy. And like he successfully gets, I mean, you know, when he's going up to the, you know, New York City Council to get tax breaks for his building at the expense of basically social services, like we can either build this skyscraper or pay for people to like have essential services. You, the viewer, at least me, I was like, yeah, let him build his building. So like, how did the movie get me on his side? It did in a way. But you're so right about like not knowing who the audience is for this, because like, one, we've had 8 years of telling the story of Trump and Roy Cohn. And it also seems like an odd moment in time to make this movie that seems like maybe you'd make this movie 20 years from now. But in a way, that's what makes it interesting. Like it'll be interesting to look back and see like, this is what we thought right at this point in history.
Because I think the director, he did a pretty good job of kind of showing the insecurity in a young Trump and kind of how captured and mesmerized he was by power from Roy. So I did like that about it. It was like, you really get to see how Roy kind of programmed him and trained him into becoming this just tough guy.
Yeah. You know? And the easy, like, you know, pop psychology people do about Donald Trump is like, well, yeah, his dad didn't love him. And that's what explains everything. And I think the movie definitely thinks that, and definitely shows in Roy Cohn, he had a new father who like, both would like help him with whatever he needed, but also literally stands up to Trump's own father in the scene of his wedding, like in a small way, but is like, hey, you should be really proud of your son. And his dad like kind of blows him off.
He's an asshole.
Yeah, which I didn't know that was Martin Donovan as Fred Trump, just just playing the devil.
Out after.
Me too. I was, where's Martin Donovan? Oh, that's him. But yeah, ultimately, it's kind of. I brought up A Complete Unknown as a comparison because you're like, well, what is there to say about this man at this point? That he pursues power as its own end or pursues accumulation as its own end. Like, yeah, that's it. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think people are going to people are going to kind of have a tough time with this because you're going to have a lot of liberals that want this movie to be even harder than what it is and making Trump look bad. And you're going to have some people that say he's humanized too much. Then you're going to say people are, slamming him and it's biased. So it's going to kind of be all over the place. I do like Trump's reaction to this.
Oh
I
yeah.
know he hates the
Oh,
movie.
of course. Oh, but also, he's seen it like 10 times probably.
Yeah. I'm like, you still like to see yourself on screen. Stop
Yes.
it. But yeah, he called it like a politically disgusting hatchet job. I'm like, I mean, this is what we knew, though.
Right. Like, I don't know. I'd be kind of flattered. In terms of humanizing him, like, I think, hey, I hate Trump. I fucking hate Trump, but he is a human being, and it is important to try to understand the psychology of people and understand that, like, there's, he's not the devil. He is a person like who represents forces at work in the world. And if he wasn't there, somebody else would be. It's not like, he just materialized as the devil. So I certainly like, in terms of humanizing him, like, I think that's actually a good thing. We need to understand people, and we need to understand the most destructive people are not, I'm rambling.
No, I feel you though. Yeah, I agree.